I really don't know what I'm doing today. Hello and welcome. This is Scruffy Storms. Welcome to the third in the series of Scruffy shows off her new Bowie t-shirts. This is the Young Americans one. All these three that I've worn in my last three videos I bought at the Bowie pop-up shop for his 75th birthday, which unfortunately is now closed, but you can get these online. But anyway, it's not about Bowie today. I'm here to show you my vinyl collection. It's pretty small. I've always been a CD person. You can see some of my CDs here, rather than a vinyl person, but I'm trying to get properly into buying vinyl. So I thought I would show you my vinyl collection now and then maybe do like a refresh of this video next year or something and see what else I bought. I'm going to start with the albums and 12-inch records that I have, and I'm going to go in alphabetical order. And now I have to lean down. This, I didn't think this through. I'm leaning down to pick up the first one. It is The Nearer the Fountain, More Pure the Stream Flows by Damon Albarn. It handily says Damon Albarn 2021. This came out in November last year. I bought this album as part of a ticket bundle to get a ticket to his Union Chapel show that he did on the 14th of December. Alas, I did not make it to the show because I came down with a really, really evil bug in the middle of December. It was not COVID. It was something else because other bugs are available. So I was really gutted to miss this show, but fingers crossed, all being well, I will go and see him at the Troxy in February. But this is a really beautiful album. I absolutely love Polaris, one of my probably top 3 singles of last year. And I just love, I spoke about this in 2018 when I was making videos and I was talking about the Gorillaz, the new Gorillaz album at the time, the Now. But it is just, there's just something so comforting about it being, you know, now so far into the 21st century, and yet we can still have albums with Damon Albarn singing, who I first heard sing more than 30 years ago. It's just that lovely bit of continuity in life. So yeah, I really love that album and really hope I can see him live very soon. Next up, leaning down. Next up is Heart-Shaped Scars by Allison. This is a really beautiful record. There's the inside. And I spoke about this album in one of my vlogs. I spoke about pre-ordering this, some trauma with pre-ordering, because the album actually came out in July, but the vinyl didn't get sent out until November. There's a lot of issues with vinyl production at the moment. So it took a while to actually receive it, but it is a beautiful thing. It's a really, really beautiful album. Like Damon Albarn, these are two albums that are quite reflective and quite somber in many ways, but just full of beauty. And it's just a beautiful addition to my vinyl collection. This is a 12-inch single. A 12-inch single of All You're Dreaming Of by Liam Gallagher. I bought it when it came out, Christmas 2020, and I would say that this was my favorite single of 2020. It just seemed to really encapsulate the mood and what we needed at the end of 2020. All I was dreaming of was going to a gig at the end of 2020, and I did get to go to gigs again in 2021, and hopefully we'll carry on. So I just think it's a beautiful, gorgeous song. I love Liam. You will have seen in previous vlogs when I went to see him live and just fell desperately in love with the cute, silly little boy. So really looking forward to his new album, which you will see if you watched my albums I'm looking forward to video, which hopefully came out on Monday. It's one of the albums that I can't wait for in 2022. I'm leaning down again for the next one. It is, of course, the Ultra Vivid Lament. Now, if you're a Manix fan, you will know that the week this album came out, there was a big old scramble to buy as many copies as possible to get it to #1, which we did. So I not only have this copy of the Ultra Vivid Lament, I have the goddamn picture disc, which looks like that. I love this album so much. This is, I think, I am unusual in my Manix fan ranking of the albums, in that my absolute favorite Manix album is Lifeblood from 2004. This currently is my second favorite Manix album. I love it that much. It was just absolutely the album I needed when it came out in 2021, and you will have seen all my vlogs of seeing them live and just how wonderful and how emotional it was for them to be back with such amazing music, just in such brilliant form. I love the Manics. They're my favorite band in the world. So yeah, amazing album. This is something I got off eBay, and I got this when I actually bought a record player in 2019, I think, but I've broken it since then. It's one of those crappy, actually it's right here. It's one of those ones that come in a suitcase. So I bought a new one this last year, 2021. I think my setting it up is on a vlog, my post Liam Gallagher vlog, I think. I've recorded a lot of footage that I never put up because I think, no, it's rubbish. So I hope I actually did put that footage up. But anyway, it's over here, my new turntable. But anyway, I bought this when 2019, I started to think about probably trying to get into buying vinyl again. And I got this for 99p off eBay. It is actually by the Pet Shop Boys, which is my album #1. It's my personal ground zero of music. My mom had this on cassette in 1988. I borrowed it off her. Pet Shop Boys became my favorite band. I became a music obsessive. That's the story of my life. David Bowie came soon after that. So when I thought I wanted to start listening to vinyl again, this seemed like the perfect album to pick up. And I have written a whole blog post about this album and what it means to me. That's all the albums of my life series #1, which is at the time of recording all that there is of that series, but I am working on, continuing it. So stay tuned. But yeah, this is a really, really, possibly the most important album of them all to me, really, in terms of how it made me a music fan. So I had to have a copy of it on vinyl. You will have seen when I recommenced my vlogging and YouTubing kind of career in summer 2021, in my vlog #1, as I called it. I don't know if I'm going to carry on numbering my vlogs because it doesn't really seem to be any point, but my 2021 vlogs are all numbered. #1, I unboxed this album by Paroshka, which is, of course, the band that Mickey from Lush now is a part of, and I absolutely love Lush. I love Mickey. She seems like just a really cool lady. And this is a really great album. I do have to say, because there were so many gigs happening at the end of last year, I really did want to see Paroshka, but I had to prioritize others because I just couldn't physically and mentally and psychologically go to every single gig I wanted to. So I, in the end, didn't go to see Paroshka, even though I wanted to. That sort of meant that I didn't listen to this album as much, because if I'm going to see a band live, I tend to listen to their music a lot more. So I haven't given this the attention it deserves, but it is a really great album and I will give it more time and attention. And actually, there's the print that came with it that I still need to put up on my wall. If you remember when I unboxed it, there's the print, so I still need to sort that out as well. I've been in this flat just over a year now. I've just re-signed the tenancy for another year, and I still haven't properly got decor and stuff. I need to sort myself out, really. Anyway, my last vinyl album, 12-inch record thingy, is another one that I talked about pre-ordering. It comes in this plastic sleeve. I'm never sure if you're meant to keep it in this plastic. I guess you are. But anyway, it keeps it safe, doesn't it? It's Saint Etienne. Anyway, well, I get it out so you can see it a bit better. I've been trying to tell you. Actually, that gives it the... What am I doing with my life? Church bells are ringing. It must be church time. Oh, it's a Sunday morning. Those are the bells that ring to say, get to church. They just keep ringing. Get to church, you heathens. Get to church. Heathens, to church. I'm in my own church. My church is music. I'm just going to carry on. I've been trying to tell you by Saint Etienne, which I think I spoke about pre-ordering in a previous vlog. I was really excited about the concept of this album because it was kind of themed around nostalgia for the late 90s, early 20th century, early 21st century. That would be an entirely different kind of album. And that's an era that I find really fascinating to look back on. But I do have to say, it didn't really grab me. I do think it's a great album. It's really pleasant to listen to. It's mostly instrumental, so you can it's easy to sort of read books while you're listening to it as well. But it's just not quite what I thought it was going to be, but it's still a really great album. But the same thing with Paroshka. I had to deprioritize seeing Saint Etienne live because so many other gigs were happening around the time, and also it was Alexandra Palace, which is shit. So yeah, I didn't end up going to see Saint Etienne, so I didn't listen to them as much as I listened to other bands. But it's still a great album. Don't let me put you off. I am going to move on now to my 7-inch singles and EPs and things that I've got. And most of these are old, but some are newer. This is James Dean Bradfield, There's No Way to Tell a Lie. I'm showing you the back of it. Why am I showing you the back? James Dean Bradfield, That's No Way to Tell a Lie. I also have a signed, just empty vinyl case, which they sent out. This was his first solo single, I think, from the Great Western. So this was 2006. This is quite some time ago. But you remember the days, the bloody church bell is still ringing. You've told the heathens to go to church. Could you stop now? Do you remember the days in the 90s when your favourite bands would put out a single and there'd be like 2 CD singles and a 7-inch, or 2 CD singles and a cassette, and you'd go out and you'd buy the whole set and it'd be like a $5. In the first week it would be a $5 for the full set. It was a great deal. This was sort of like the tail end of doing that. So I think there were 2 CD singles and this 7-inch. But because like shops were sort of stocking singles, shops were stopping stocking singles. Why did I do that to myself? There were fewer singles in the shops by this time, so I'm pretty sure I ordered all the singles online, and I've obviously sold the CD singles since then. But I still have the 7-inch and the empty one, which the autograph is on, for some reason. But yeah, so I was still like, this was in my 30s when I'd stopped being so much of a music fan, but I was obviously still enough of a fan to buy James Dean Bradfield's stuff. And it is a pretty good album, actually. I haven't really paid too much attention to it, but I do like it a lot. Now here is something old and rare. One of the few sort of items from my very original collection from the 90s that has made it through. It is Verses from the Holy Bible. This was a flexi disc that came attached to the NME in 1994, before the release of the Holy Bible. I'm going to pull it out. You can see it's flexi disc. I remember buying this copy of the NME. I was still in Australia at the time, and I'm pretty sure I picked this up at one of the big record shops in the center of town, because there were 2 record shops, 78s and Dadas, for any Perth people. Do they still exist? Or you could buy up-to-date copies of the music press, particularly 78s. They had a big section upstairs with all the music press. That was like my holy grail, like to see what the news, because there wasn't the internet. I mean, my family got online in 95, but even then you couldn't always get all the news, because what was the internet then? It was made of string. So I loved going and looking at the up-to-date music press, because in the normal news agents, everything would be like 3 months out of date. And I remember seeing this and picking it up and like going home and like listening to this over and over to hear what the new songs from the Holy Bible were going to be like. It was so exciting. So yeah, this has stayed in my collection, even though I sold or gave to charity most of the other things. And another that managed to stay is Indian Summer, which is from 2007. So again, quite late in my music, like I was already in my 30s, and my sort of personal music timeline is like, when I got into my 30s, that was like my youthful obsession with music was over. It took me to get into my 40s before I became obsessed again because of midlife crisis. But I still bought this single, and somehow it survived. I didn't like get rid of it like I got rid of most others. There's a few others here that I kept, but I do love Indian Summer. It's sort of in recent years become one of my absolute favorite Manic singles after I saw them perform it live at my brain has gone dead now. There's the bonging has stopped. That cold place, Bristol. It was a very cold day by the harbour, and I saw them, and they put Indian Summer back in the set list, and it just sounded really, really good. So since then it's become a little bit of an anthem for me. I absolutely love it. I've got another Manic single. It is Orwellian. This was part of my buy everything the week that Tuval came out, the Ultra Vivid Lament, and this came with the album, the regular copy of the album that I just showed you. As you can see, I haven't actually opened it and played it because the songs are available online. I should, you know, I'm a bad fan, I should play it, but also it's nice to keep it in mint condition. But yeah, it's part of the Tuval era, which is one of my favorite Manix eras of them all, and it's the current era, so what could be better? Next up, it's one of two surviving, I think it's two surviving Manson singles from my original collection. So this is from the 90s. Close for Business, which came out in 1997. Absolutely loved this song. I was so excited. I remember just being glued to the radio when this song was on, because obviously there was no like streaming or downloading, and I didn't have a way to record things from the radio because I was just living in my tiny room in the nurse's home in London. So yeah, and this was one of those things where they released, did they release 2 CDs and a 7-inch, or a CD, a cassette and 7-inch? And it was one of those like 3-part sets. So of course I bought the 7-inch, and ditto with Negative, which again is one of my favorite songs of all time. What's the B-side on this? Manson's only live song. So Manson's only love song live. But the CD EP of this with When the Wind Blows and King of Beauty, that's one of the best ever. That's so brilliant. But it is just one of my absolute favorite. This was an incredible era. I remember when I saw them live at Brixton Academy. I only saw them live once that year, 98. But at Brixton Academy, when they came onto Negative, what an amazing, amazing moment. And what brilliant artwork as well. Just a fantastic era of Manson. They were all fantastic in their own ways. Another recent one, My Life Story. This is 24-Hour Deflower, and this was given away free at their Borderline gigs in 2017. Is it 2017? Yes. 2016. When the frack was it? It was the same week that I went to Bognor Regis. That was 2016. I think. But yeah, free 7-inch was given away at those gigs, and that's why I have this one. I did used to collect a few of the My Life Story singles, CD singles back in the day. I don't have any of them left, but I do still have this one because I just got it recently, so that's cool. And finally, because we're in alphabetical order, we're back with the era of the Manic's solo careers, because it's Nicky Wire, and this is Break My Heart Slowly. Break My Heart Slowly. I have a feeling I tried playing this one recently and it's a bit warped. It doesn't really play, but look how cool it is. I did have a signed copy of the CD of the album, I Killed the Zeitgeist, and I sold it, so I'm an idiot. But I've still got this Nicky Wire. It just makes my my vinyl collection really random bits of the Manics mostly. But yeah, very cool. So that is my vinyl collection. That's all the vinyl I own. Most of you music fans probably have way more vinyl than me, but I've always been a CD fan, really, more than vinyl, but I am getting into vinyl a lot more in recent years. So tell me, what have you got? Show me your vinyl collection. Make your own video. I like to see it, just like with my CD single video of I said to you, make your own CD single videos, and I don't know if anyone has so far, but yeah, I am thinking of doing a refresh of my CD single video as well, so look forward to that. But yeah, please do comment and tell me about your record collection, and like and subscribe and all of those things. I'm terrible at reminding you to do that, but I figure if you want to do it, you're gonna do it anyway, so why bother? Anyway, that's it from me for today, and I will talk to you again very soon in my next video. Bye bye.